Good evening, everybody. Today is, what is today? November 8th, 2021, and this is the iBUG Buzz. My name is Brad Snyder, and along with Sandhya Rao, we are your hosts for tonight's get-together. The iBUG Buzz is an open forum where we discuss all things iOS and related. That means your iPhones, your iPads, your Apple Watch, your iPod Touch, your Apple TVs, and related apps and accessories. Let me see. Oh, yes. This call is being recorded. As I stammer, this call is being recorded. So to help us get a clean recording, we ask that everybody stay muted while we do this. And then the recording is available not only on our iBUG website, but on the Sight into Sound website. It is also available as a podcast that you can access through the podcast app of your choice, as well as you can ask your favorite smart speaker to play the iBUG Buzz podcast. As I said, this podcast is being recorded, so we asked everybody to help us get as clean a recording as possible. Let's stay muted unless you are speaking. If you would like to unmute on your iOS device, you will find an unmute toggle button down in the lower left corner of the screen. If you're joining us via a Mac, the command is Command Shift A. If you should be joining us on a Windows computer, it is Alt A. If you're joining us on a dial-in telephone, it is *6. And all of these are toggles. You do the command to mute and then unmute yourself to speak. We do not use the raise hand feature here at iBUG. We ask that you, if you would like to speak, that you unmute yourself. And when there's a pause in the conversation, you state your name and then wait to be acknowledged by either myself or Sandhya. I believe that is most of the preliminaries. So what we'd like to do now is go around the room, give everybody a chance to say hello, introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining us from, and most importantly, if you're new joining us for the first time or a new user of an iOS device, please let us know that. We like to acknowledge our new users, the new visitors to the call. So to get us started, my name is Brad and I am in Dallas.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Susan from Houston.
Hey, Susan. Hey, Herbie.
This is Ned from Texas.
Hello, Ned.
Hello.
Buddy in Houston.
Hello.
This is David from New York.
Hey, David. Thanks for joining us.
This is Jim from PA, or
Hey,
Central
Jim
PA.
in PA. Central PA. Okay.
Right.
This is Cameron from Philadelphia.
Hey, Karen.
This is Stephen from Austin.
Oh, Stephen.
Hey, Brad.
This is
Marvin
Helene.
Oh, wait a second. We got stepped on each other there. Let's see. I didn't catch who do we have. Do it again, one at a time.
This is Helene from Woodstock, New York.
Hello, Helen. Who else do we
Helene.
have?
This is Marvin from Chicago.
Hey, Marvin. Thanks for joining us.
Xavier from Atlanta.
Hey, Xavier. Who else?
Suva from Houston.
We stepped on each other again.
Suva and Arlene, I think.
Suva and Arlene. Awesome. Glad you guys are with us tonight.
This is Sandhya from Houston.
Hey. All right, Sandhya. Okay, we get everybody.
Freddie from Galveston County.
All right, Freddie. And there was somebody else. I didn't catch it. Maybe Sandhya.
Linda from Mumble.
Hey, Linda. Okay, good deal.
Hi.
Good deal. Okay, folks. I think is that everybody. If not, we'll catch you on the second half. All right. Like I said, we usually like to give maybe our new users or first time, people who are with us for the first time. opportunity to ask a question. If anybody would care to take this opportunity, please go ahead. If not, we'll take anybody's question. Anybody like to get us started tonight?
Susan?
Okay, Susan.
Yes. Okay, I have a question. I don't know how it started. I probably did something wrong, but when I pressed the power button, it takes me right to the clock and the date and all that. And a lot of times, well, in fact, I don't even have to do that. It wakes me up at night. It tells me that I have emails on the screen. So when I double tap it, then I have to unlock the phone, and then it takes me straight to email, to mail. So I was wondering, how do I get rid of that thing so it doesn't say I have like 3 emails or 5 or whatever?
Mobile answer call button.
Okay.
All right, so we had to unmute, so can you come back in, Brad? All right, does anybody have any ideas to help Susan in how to get rid of those notifications on her screen?
Well, it's emails, not notifications, because like I said, when I double tap on it, on that screen, like I said, where the clock is and the day and date, then I have to unlock my phone, and then it takes me straight to where the emails are. So,
right.
yeah, it's just, if I want to know there's email, I have a sound that's going to let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Can anybody help Susan? Just say your name and who's that?
D.
Go ahead, D, please.
Okay. Susan, I think you should go into settings and go way down to mail. It's quite a ways down.
Mhm.
Open that, and under your mail, you will find notifications and turn them off for that mail.
Oh, okay. So even though it's saying mail, it's listed in notifications. Go to mail from settings, like you said, and
turn
Fiber.
off your notifications.
okay, I'll give that a shot. It works.
All right. Thank you, D. All right. All right, Brad, you back? All right. Okay, who has the next question?
This is D.
Okay, ma'am, go ahead.
I got a problem bigger than Texas.
Oh dear. Okay, let's have it.
I want someone to solve this. Something has happened to my messages app on my iPhone 13 mini. I can receive messages, I can send messages with Siri, but if I get a message and I go in there and read it, then I don't have a place to return a message. And okay, it doesn't, or if there is, if I double tap it, it does not bring up the keypad.
So you're not getting your text field, your edit field to respond.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, a lot of those things that you should get down there under messages is not showing up. And the weirdest thing is when it does, instead of double tapping to send a message, to bring up the keyboard, I have to triple tap.
Oh,
and that is weird. And then some other places I found to mute the speech, instead of doing a 2-finger double, no, what is it? A 3-finger double tap, I have to do a 3-finger triple tap. And to bring up the screen, block out thing, instead of doing a 3-finger triple tap, I have to do a 3-finger quadruple tap. And this all is not right. I don't know how it got so fouled up. I took it into Verizon and they haven't
Go
got
ahead,
me
Herbie.
out yet.
So just a thought, have you done anything in accessibility with like touch accommodations or anything like that?
I don't think so, Herbie. what would touch things do to it? I thought I had
I know
that
there's
turned
some
off.
disability modes. I'm not too familiar with them, but I know that it can change the gestures so they're easier to use. But I'm a little bit stumped on
This is Suva.
this one, Suva. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Suva.
Just so I'm clear, so you were talking about screen curtain, turning it on and off with the three finger triple tap, but now you have to do 3-finger quadruple tap to turn on the screen curtain.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So this happens when you have, this is Suva again. This happens when you have the magnifier turned on. It's either the magnifier or the zoom feature turned on. It basically shifts the clicks. So what I mean by that is 3-finger triple tap will now do the command for enable screen magnification. If you have that enabled, it will no longer do screen curtain. So you will have to go to accessibility and turn that feature off, zoom off.
Okay.
That will bring it back to 3-finger triple tap. That will bring it back to screen curtain on and off.
Okay, this is Dee. I really appreciate knowing that because I did turn on the magnifier. It's something I really never used before, but I thought there's some new benefits they said in there that even totally blind people, which I'm not totally blind, but I really just can't read the screen. Yeah, so I turned it on. So that may have fouled me up.
No, that is this is Suva again.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead,
yes, that is exactly what it will do. Now, if you like it, that's good. If you keep it, I keep it there. But if you want to go back, it's just literally just shifting one of the keys. And also, I also use a copy command, which is now 3-finger 5 taps. So if you do 3-finger 5, it used to be 3-finger 4 taps. Now it just shifts one before. So I generally like that copy feature, but I mean, there are other ways you can also utilize it. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, you have to start banging on the phone that much. It's like, yeah. Anything over a quadruple tap is too much. Okay. Thank you for that information. Does anybody have any idea about the Messages app then? Do you think that could have messed that up?
This is Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Hi, Dee.
Hi, Nancy.
Have you, I don't know, I mean, I hate it when people do this to me, but have you tried, how many apps do you have open? Because sometimes if you have, people always say it doesn't matter, but I have, if I have more than 10, I find that sometimes my phone doesn't work right. And so.
Yeah, this is Dee. I pretty much have them all closed now.
Okay, and have you tried turning off your phone and starting it up again?
Yes, I have.
Okay, those were my 2 ideas.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're in the same class. I know those rules. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Okay.
All right. Well, I hope that got that answered for you, Dee.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who'd like to go next? Who's got our next question?
This is Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, go ahead.
Okay, I'm still learning my new watch. And I would like to know, I am halfway through reading the user manual. Yes, I'm one of those people that feels like I have to read it to figure it out. But I am wondering, I missed the part about how to change to different watch faces. So if I have a certain watch face with activity in it, and then I want to get to the one that tells me when the full moon is, how do I switch watch faces? And how does anyone have any recommendations of favorite apps to put in certain, or favorite complications or whatever to put in different watch faces? Curious about that setup and stuff like that.
Who can help Nancy change watch faces and recommend some complications? Got any watch experts out there?
This is Herbie.
Okay, Herbie, go ahead.
So back when I put in a new watch face, I actually used the phone app on the watch. I found it a little bit easier. I know you go into the watch app. You'll see like it'll show you what face you have, and I think if you double tap on it, you can adjust it from there. I'd really have to go look, and I'll try to come back with a better answer a little bit later on in the call. And there's also a face gallery. As for complications, I think it really depends a lot on what you are wanting your watch for, how you use it. For instance, I like to see my workout summary in as one of the complications on the watch face, or sunset. Let's see. I have Metrolift calling me. Thank you. Let's see. Let's try that. So and then so apps that I like to have shortcuts. So like I have a shortcut to the workout app right there in my watch face. But maybe you want the calendar, maybe you want the time. So really kind of, I think, depends on just how you're using your watch, or if there's an app that you use a lot, like say walkie talkie, maybe you want that as one of your complications so you can get to it quickly. So I think a lot of it really is personal preference and just how you're using the watch in terms of what complications you have.
This is Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, go ahead.
Okay, that's awesome. But how do I switch faces on the watch? So if my phone isn't with, so I get what you're saying about creating the complications and the customizing and such. I think I did do that on the phone, and it was easier. But if I'm just wearing my watch and I'm in the other room and I want to switch faces using the watch, can you tell me how to do that?
This is Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Yep. You can go. Do you use VoiceOver on your watch?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to put my watch here.
7:47 p.m. and 54 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to flick down.
Control center.
Flick down again with one finger.
Notification center.
Again.
Customize watch face.
Well, I could have flicked up, of course. I'm going to double tap on Customize Watch Face.
Modular. Customizable. 5 complications. Compass. Weather. Blood oxygen. Activity. Heart rate.
Okay.
Actions available.
Now, if I would have another watch face that I customize, I can go to Add New Face.
Add new face.
And double tap, and all the little faces will pop up, and I can pick it. And then it'll let me set as watch face, and that's how the new face can be the watch face.
7:48 p.m. and 33 seconds.
But it is easier to use the watch app on the phone to customize your face. So you can customize your face on the phone, have more than one face, and then switch to them. Maybe you want the goofy one or the Mickey Mouse or, something like that. Does that answer your question?
This is Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Okay, so I think I understand what you said. So you said go to add on your watch, and when you double tap on add, that's where you can see the watch faces that you already have created. And
no, I think that'll go to the new faces. Let's
Okay.
see. Let's try that. I used to have two faces, but I like the one I have now.
Control center. Notification center.
Let me
Customize watch face.
go there.
Modular. Customizable. Add new face.
Add new face.
This is Herbie.
Activity analog.
Go ahead. Well, hang
Yeah,
on. It's
and
Kenny.
so
Let
you can
Kenny
actually,
switch.
I was just looking at this again to have to refresh my memory. So on the face screen on the watch, if I can get back there, thank you. If I do a one finger triple tap, then it first is showing me the face I have, and then it'll say add new face. I don't have any additional faces. I've actually stuck with one face ever since I'd decided on what I liked a long time ago. So I guess you can't say I'm two-faced. I don't know, but yeah, that's how you would do it and then you would go from there. I remember one of the reasons why I think I preferred the phone in the past is it read all the faces to me, whereas the watch did not. But this was like back in 2015, so hopefully they've improved the accessibility of that since then. but that's one reason why I think I liked the phone app better at the time. But yeah, just on the watch face that you have, if you triple tap, then that'll bring up the new face interface there.
This is Brad. Nancy, you're trying to change between faces you've already created, correct?
That's I'm just experimenting. Yeah.
Okay. If you've got more than one face already created, you might try taking a 2-finger either swipe to the left or to the right, and that should change faces that you've already corrected. If that's what you've already created, if that's what you're trying to do.
Okay, I'll try that. I haven't tried that yet. Thank you.
Okay.
This is Kenny.
Go ahead, Kenny.
I had a new question.
Yes, sir.
I want to know, how would I pay my Apple Card bill? What I'm asking is, I know how to pay it, but I don't know when to pay it. I've linked my bank to the wallet, and so I can pay it through the bank. But do we get an Apple bill and then pay it, or do we pay it by the pay due date? I think mine was the 30th of the month or 30th of next month, something like that.
Is there anybody out there want to help Kenny out? I've got one, but I'd like to let somebody else answer it. Anybody got an Apple Card out there? Help Kenny out with when he needs to pay his bill. Okay, nobody's got one. I've got one. You will not receive a paper bill ever. And the way it works is, let's see, we just finished October. Any charges you had during October, will be due at the end of November. If you don't pay them or pay a minimum balance by the end of November, that's when they start charging you interest. But you will pay it by going to your wallet, selecting the Apple Card. And if you swipe to where it gives you your balance, swipe to the left, it should tell you what your minimum payment is, or if you have anything, if you have nothing due or what's due. If it says nothing due right now and you continue swiping to the right, you hear a button that says pay more, or you've already paid your balance. There's nothing due right now. Keep swiping and it'll say pay more. And that's where you can make a payment at any time.
Oh, okay. So this is Kenny again. So like regular cards, you charge them, you wait for a statement, and then you can pay them and blah, blah, blah. This one is not that way. I could pay it anytime and it won't help my credit or hurt my credit or nothing like that.
No, I'm not aware of. I think what always helps your credit is just paying whatever's due on time. But you can pay it every day. You can pay it multiple times a day.
Right, but if we have, like you said, we'll say the 30th of this month, and you say we never get a bill.
Well, they don't mail you a bill.
Okay, they don't mail you, but do they email you a bill?
Never.
This is Nancy.
It's all done through the wallet app. Let's see. Let's see what Nancy, go ahead.
So are you using the Apple credit card?
Yes, I got an Apple credit card. They graciously said I can get one, so I got one.
So I get an email that says, and I sometimes even get it like the 25th of the month, that says, just a notification, your bill is due in X amount of days. And so then I kind of have it in my brain, okay, I need to pay this. And so then I just go into the wallet app, and what Brad has said is true, that it asks you, do you want to pay the full, or do you want to pay it later, or do you want to pay it the full amount? So if you're not getting email notices, maybe check with Goldman Sachs and ask them if they will somehow, if you're not, maybe they don't have your email correct or something like that. and just make sure that you're getting those email notifications, because I definitely get them. I don't know about anybody else, but I like it. So yeah.
Yeah, this is Brad. How long have you had it, Kenny?
I just got it the other day and then went ahead and
Okay.
set it as my default payment on
Okay.
my phone and then tested it out and bought something.
Right.
And
This is,
I just don't want to mess it up and
yeah, this is
get a late
Brad.
charge.
You may not have had it long enough to be getting the emails that Nancy's talking about. There's also a way to go into your settings for the card and turn on and off different kinds of notifications. So you might look at that. I think when you're in the card, look in the upper right corner, and there may be a button that says something like more or something like that. And that takes you into what I call settings, notifications, and things like that.
All right, I'll have to
just explore that
I
screen.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I've turned some stuff on and off, but I was like, oh, I wonder when the bills due. I know it says this date. Does that mean I have to that date to pay it?
This is Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
I was super excited when I got my card too, mostly because you can review you could keep swiping down and it'll say this week's expenses or the whole month expenses. So you can see all the payments you made, and you should be getting notifications when you can use your phone at a store. That's the coolest thing. I love that you can hold, and I swore I'd never do that, but it is really cool. You hold your phone up, you don't have to worry about where the slot on the card reader or the card reader thing, and it tells you, yes, this is how much you paid. And it's neat because nobody can get your credit card information either. So
yeah, I can't wait for that titanium card to come in. I ordered one of those, and so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
they said 6 to 8 weeks.
All right.
All right.
Go
Well,
ahead,
thank you.
Sri. Yeah, hopefully help you, Kenny.
You could
Go
always
ahead, Sri.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of overmodulated there.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, you could always
Nope.
put a reminder.
We're having trouble hearing you, Sri.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I was just saying, you could always set up a reminder to just, because it's a monthly recurring bill.
Right. And you can set up a reminder. I think there's some things in the what I call the more, or the settings in there that you can turn on. That's good. All right. Thank you, Sri.
I have a question. This is Suva.
Yeah, Suba, go ahead.
My question is in regards to hearing aids. How do I turn off a hearing aid device when I have basically a Bluetooth device? Anytime I turn on a Bluetooth device, by Bluetooth, it will automatically search and connect to the hearing aids. I don't want to turn off the hearing aids. I want to keep it on and just simply go to settings under accessibility, hearing devices. And I need the steps afterwards to find and turn off hearing device. Because as soon as we turn on the Bluetooth, it basically creates a situation where I can no longer hear the audio settings. So I would be able to guide my student to turn off the hearing device. So I need to know if there's a best way or easier way to do that, so we can continue on with connecting a Bluetooth keyboard and other accessories.
Okay. Anybody out there with experience using Bluetooth, a hearing aid that connects to your iPhone with Bluetooth and other Bluetooth devices? We got any hearing aid users out there?
Currently unmuted.
It's like we're rolling snake eyes, Suba.
No worries. This was quite a difficult. I tried
Did you
everything.
talk to your
Yeah, go ahead.
hearing, your audiologist to see what they've got to say about it?
This is Suva. It's not for me. I'm working with one of my students here, and we're running into a problem where, as soon as we turn on the Bluetooth on our device, it will automatically reconnect to the hearing aids, and that basically takes me out, and I can no longer hear the voiceover. So I can't really guide. I mean, I try my best to guide him through the accessibility and hearing aids devices, and they tell me they hear the name for the device, the company it's manufactured by, but there's no on or off button or disconnect option or forget this device. There's none of those. It's a new field. It's different from Bluetooth devices settings. So, but yeah, it's for one of my students that I'm working with.
This is Brad. Does the hearing aid have a power on off button on it?
It does have one button. I was gonna recommend you press and hold it, but that will disable the hearing aid completely, and we don't want to do that because then we run into
Well, I have hearing aid. I don't wear it all the time. I need it when I'm outdoors and in noisy places. Mine are resound. They connect the way that you're talking about. I don't know that I understand what you're saying. You can't hear the voiceover when this individual turns on Bluetooth so that they can connect a keyboard.
Yes.
My only answer to that would be this, but if the person turns the hearing aid off, then they can't hear it.
Yes. You hear me or the voiceover? Yes.
I don't know what to tell you.
I would.
This is Herbie.
Hey, go ahead, Herbie.
One thought I had with the voiceover, have you tried changing the audio destination? Because voiceover could be defaulting out of one device and not switching to, like Bose speakers, for instance, have it where voiceover will stay on the phone, so you have to use the audio destination if you want to try to switch it. So that's one thing maybe you could try. It's a shot in the dark.
Audio destination.
Yep, it's in the rotor. If you don't have it there, then you can put it there. I think it's also in the quick actions. I don't remember with the 4-finger quadruple tap, but that's at least something to try. And basically you go to it in the rotor and then you swipe down, and if it sees another destination source, then it might switch over to it. Could be a little bit more reliable, but it's the only thing I can think of to maybe try.
This is Shree.
Go ahead. Who was?
I'm just thinking it's Shree.
It's Shree.
Oh, Shree. Man, your microphone does weird stuff.
All right. I'm trying to think really outside the box. Do you know if you could put like an audio splitter where maybe instead of using the Bluetooth, he could use a headphone and then it connects to a external speaker so you could hear it?
Instead of using the Bluetooth, this is Suva. So you're saying use a Bluetooth audio external device?
Well, I was actually thinking more of like a hardwire. Whether he could he like, does he need a hearing aid, or could he, if you used a headset, could he hear it then or no?
I'm sorry. So you're talking. So this is an iPhone. Doesn't have a headphone jack. So are we talking about the iPhone, or are we talking about the person, the student, who would be able to hear us through the headphone?
Yeah, I'm talking about the student. So sometimes I split my audio in two different paths, and I'm just wondering if the student can use a headphone jack. Would he be able to hear if he had instead of it's just speaking in the speaker? If he had a headphone on, would he be able to hear it? So basically, you're splitting the audio to a headphone and an external speaker, so you could hear it.
Right. Yeah, I would say that makes a good. This is Suva. Yeah, that makes a good recommendation. It's just we're talking about headphone jacks, splitting different audio settings. Those are a little bit more involved. Yeah, so I totally understand. Yes, actually, JAWS 20. I mean, Fusion 2022 just came up with this solution with audio splitting on your headphones. So it's quite new. I have tested it. I know how to use it. Just we're gonna give it a try. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is Sri.
Go ahead, Tree.
I'm throwing out from the left field. I'm just trying to think of something that's, if because of the Bluetooth, it's automatically kicking in not to use the Bluetooth and some other device, so you both can hear.
Yeah. Thanks. We'll give that
This
a
is
try.
Herbie.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, Herbie, and then let's try and
I'm just thinking, I mean, you may want to go back because, like, Jonathan Mosen has talked a lot about similar issues with voiceover and transitioning between hearing aids and other stuff, too. I don't know if it's exactly the same as yours, but his podcasts are divided up into chapters. So if you go through the archives, you'll see, like, if there's any chapters on the hearing devices, they'll be labeled as such. So, and that's the Mosen at Large podcast. So you might want to refer back to some of those recent ones, and because I know he's talked about similar issues and some things that Apple really could actually fix. I don't know if it's exactly your situation or not, but it sounds very similar. So that might be another resource and to see what he's had to say on this. And I don't remember if he had any solutions or not, but that might be another resource to tap into.
This is Suva. May I request what was the name of the podcast, and if you remember the chapter or the
This is Herbie.
Yes.
Go ahead, Herbie. Tell him.
It's Mosen at Large, MOSEN at Large, and you'd have to go through the archives. I don't remember which specific one though, because he's done a ton of podcasts. I know. I want to say he's done stuff within like the last 3 to 6 months, but that's the best I can give you. I do. You'll have to do your digging from there. I do think he does show notes and stuff though, so you might, if you actually go on the web, you might have an easier time finding which podcasts deal with hearing devices. So you'll have to do some digging, unfortunately.
This is Suva. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Suva. Thank you, Herbie. Okay. Who's got another question?
This is
for
Ned.
us? Yeah, Ned.
Yes, I have a sighted friend who has an iPhone 11 with a 15.1 operating system. And this morning she discovered she could not send or receive text messages. Then she discovered she could not receive any phone calls, but she could make outgoing phone calls. So she's a Sprint customer, but went to T-Mobile, and the T-Mobile person looking at her phone found all of her contacts were blocked. All of her phone numbers were blocked. So the T-Mobile person said, go in and unblock all your phone numbers. So she went home and did that. The problem persisted, and then we're able to communicate via emails. She can send and receive emails, but when she sends me an email, it says you are sending an email to a blocked caller. So she goes to me and her contact information. She sees on the display, I'm unblocked, but yet her phone is saying you're sending an email to a blocked caller. So I told her she's going to go back to T-Mobile again tomorrow, but I don't know what would cause all of her phone numbers to be blocked in one fell swoop.
This is Herbie.
Wow. Go ahead, Herbie.
My first question would be, in the phone settings, did she by any chance turn on Apple's spam protection?
See, I don't know.
But that would only, I mean, that would still allow contacts to go through. So, that it's, I mean, maybe there's something weird going on between the transition of Sprint and T-Mobile. Maybe one thing to make sure she has is a true T-Mobile SIM card. And
Well, she hasn't, this isn't that. She's not started that transfer yet. She's still a Sprint customer, but she's not done anything with
right, but I'm
transferring
just
over to
wondering if there's anything weird. I don't, I mean, some people, I've been a pure T-Mobile customer, so I can tell you as a pure T-Mobile customer, I've never had this issue, but I don't know if there's any relation between the. So that was just why I had that thought. Could she get an actual, actual T-Mobile SIM card, and would that help solve the problem? Maybe there's something going on with the towers and carrier settings and all that. That's.
So you said she could have inadvertently touched blocking spam calls and which blocked everything?
It's something to check. I mean, it's silence unknown callers. Make sure that's turned off. That's at least that's something to try. If that's possible. I don't even think visually you could block every single contact. I don't think there's a contact all button. And I do also wonder if there's anything going on with the carrier settings with the Sprint towers and just there's something going on in the carriers end that's affecting things as well. And so that's why I was asking, has she switched over to an actual T-Mobile SIM card? But
I know
Brad and others have had experience with the transition, so I will clear the way and let see if they have any.
But then with the second question, why is it that she's sending an email to a blocked caller, and when she goes to my contact information, the display tells her I'm unblocked?
So is she using Wi-Fi or data?
I think she's using Wi-Fi because she's at home.
Okay, so you're sending email. So like, is it going through like a Gmail address, or is it?
Yes, it's a Gmail account. Her email address is Gmail, and so is mine.
So when you send an email to her, it says you're sending to a blocked caller?
No, she's receiving my email. When she sends an email back to me, it says it says on her phone, you are sending an email to a blocked caller. And then so that's me. I'm the one that's blocked because I can't call her. And but then when she goes into her contact information and finds my name, when she scrolls down, she sees
it's not
that
showing as you as blocked.
Yes, I'm unblocked, but yet she's sending an email to a blocked caller.
That's why I was wondering if there's some screw going on with the carrier settings, sending something false to the SIM card. But maybe Brad has something more constructive.
Well, this is Brad. My recommendation is take the phone to T-Mobile and let them have a look at it, because I don't know that this is anything we can solve here.
Right. Okay.
It's a very, very strange situation I've never heard of.
Right.
But I would let the T-Mobile people take a look at it, because they may be able to, once they get their hands on the phone, they may be able to figure something out, which we could help. But
this is Nancy, and I just wanted to say I heard Sri. I don't know if you heard him or not.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Sri, go ahead.
I just had a question. Did you say this was an email and this is a call block? Because that doesn't make sense to me.
No, none of it doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, this is we communicate via text, and because she couldn't text in or out, then we tried to do the calling. Well, that wasn't working, so now we're using email to communicate, and I can send her an email and she can send me an email, but her email coming to me says on her phone, you are sending an email to a blocked caller. Yeah. So I'm still getting it, even though it's telling her I'm a blocked caller.
All right, this is Sandhya.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think we need to move on.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to move on. Like I said, I think a trip to the T-Mobile store is in order.
Okay, thank you for your help, guys.
All righty. Who else we got? Who'd like to get us moving on another question?
Hey, this is Kushal.
Yeah, Kushal.
I had a magic keyboard question, actually, if anyone can help.
Yes, go
How do
ahead.
you
Let's.
you know with the small keyboard, how do you you can press the button, like the button on the right side to turn it on. Do you press it again to turn it off, or do you press and hold to turn it off? Because I get confused.
The Magic Keyboard?
Yeah, the Apple Magic Keyboard. You know, the small one without the numpad.
Yeah, I thought it's a slider. I thought it's a slider button.
Pardon?
I thought it's a slider. It slides
No,
to
it's the one that you press.
well, the old one.
Yeah,
The one that takes the AA batteries.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've heard
Anybody
it
got
can-
experience with the old with the old Bluetooth keyboard? That one's not called Magic. That one's just called a Bluetooth keyboard. And you hold the little button on the end of the tube like thing.
Yeah. Can you get the new one with the slider? Is there a new one?
Well, the new flat one, there's a button on the back on the right-hand side, and it's got a little, I don't know what you call it, little slide switch. You slide it to the right. When you're on the front of the keyboard, you slide it to the outer edge. That's on, slide it towards the middle, and that's off.
Ah.
But
How
that
much are
older
these
one,
anyway?
that older one's different. Anybody got experience with that older Bluetooth keyboard? The one that takes the 2 AA batteries.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Only way I can do that is go to my Bluetooth connection and it can tell me if it's connected or not connected.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise you have to see that little blue amber light to be on.
Yeah.
It's a sighted thing.
Yeah.
Okay. How much
Okay.
does the one cost for the other one, that the one you mentioned?
How much is the new one?
Yeah. How much does it cost?
This is Brad. I think it's about $99 US.
Yeah. Okay. Gee,
Yeah, I
Apple
know.
don't make it cheap, do they?
Nope, they don't.
This is
Yeah.
Dana.
Go ahead, Dana.
I'm using one of those right now. And I'm sorry I didn't hear the question. But
Portia was asking how to turn off the old, to know the old style Bluetooth keyboard, the one that takes AA batteries, has got a button you press and hold on the right hand end of the keyboard. He's trying to figure out how to know when it's on or off.
yeah, there. Since I'm using one right now, the way I do it, of course you have to have some sight, but the way I do it is I press and hold the button in on the right of the tube, and count to 4 slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I press a button and listen for my iPhone to either click or something. And if it does not click, then the keyboard is off.
Yeah. That's how I usually do it, but I was just wondering if there was a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
That's.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
No.
This is Sandhya. Okay. This is Sandhya. Just remind everybody, slow down and wait for Brad to recognize you. Say your name and then let Brad recognize you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Are you finished, Dana?
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say, but that's pretty much all I do.
Okay. Okay. I think Herbie had
I'm
wanted
done,
to contribute
yes.
something.
Well, one thing I was going to mention that I believe VoiceOver does, at least with the newer Bluetooth keyboard, so I don't know why it wouldn't with the older, is it makes a little sound once a Bluetooth device is connected. And so that'd be another way, even with the older one, you should be able to tell if it's connected or not, because it should make a little, if you have your screen unlocked at least, your phone should make a little sound. And you can always experiment too with, even if it doesn't, then you can always try something that wouldn't affect the phone directly, like using your quick nav command to turn it on and off. If VoiceOver makes a sound or says quick nav, depending on your settings with iOS 15, that'll be another way you'd know it's connected without even moving anything on the phone, but it should. I think it makes a little connecting sound.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
All right.
Thanks for your help, guys.
All right. Thank you, Kershaw. Thank you, Herbie, Tree, and everybody that contributed there. Okay. Who's like to go next? I know we still got a little while. I haven't checked the time here. We got about 10 minutes till the halfway
Kelsey?
point. We got plenty of time. Go ahead, Kelsey.
Okay, this isn't a question, but this is just a warning to everybody to let you know that there is a text message going around from it's a very odd number, and the person is impersonating, one of your contacts. So for example, I got one from somebody claiming to be the president of an ACB affiliate, and several other people got one claiming to be other officers. So just a warning to everyone, if you get a message like that and it looks suspicious, it probably is. So this just happened today. So I just want to let everyone know that there is a text message going around that
All right. Thank you,
that
Kelsey.
is causing problems. So
All right. Thank you. You should
This is
always be
Marty.
diligent. If something looks suspicious, it probably is. So thank you, Kelsey.
This is Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
We have a new app that we use in our retirement community. It's called Kubigo, and it's like they're going to put everything on there, like all our activities. But anyway, I think the way they're loading stuff in, they're loading in images, because I'll get to like an activity, like it might say Catalyst November 5th or something like that. I click on it. Now my wife tells me, because she cited when you click on the picture, there's text inside there. I do not get the text. I just get the headings when I click on it. Is there a setting that I need to turn on in VoiceOver that would read me text inside, like images or something like that?
Okay. Who knows how Marty can maybe read these images? Anybody got any ideas?
Oh man, what the
This
Herbie
is Jody.
Okay, Jody.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I was in a very, very boring board meeting tonight. I just kept thinking, I want to go to iBUG. Anyway, yeah, under VoiceOver, there is something where you can turn on, I think it's even called text and images. But the other thing that you can do is if that doesn't read it, is if you have Seeing AI, that will actually read it.
No, because
it's
inside. It's not like a scanned document. It's inside an app.
This is Herbie.
Oh,
Go
it's
ahead,
in
Herbie.
an app. Okay.
Hang on. Okay,
Yeah.
are we good? Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
Have you tried like any of the? Have you first of all, are you running iOS 15?
15.1, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Good. Because one thing I know is they have like, have you tried swiping down on the image to see if you can use the view image description features?
No, I haven't. Now in VoiceOver, I see something about navigation, image navigation, and it has
Yes.
there's three options: always, and description or never.
Right,
It's
but
set
this
to
is
always. I
right.
don't know what the difference is.
So there's a new thing now with iOS called Explore Image Features, and I think you just basically swipe down on any picture, and if it's available, and then it'll show up, and then you would double tap, and you're able to kind of explore the image in a little bit more detail. So that's something I would try. Also, make sure you can make sure. Are you running anything later than an 8?
No, I mean like via the phone.
Yes.
No, I'm running an 8.
Okay, well, this is where you might also have a disadvantage with an older phone, because your phone does not support some of the newer image description features and whatnot that we get with the iPhone 10 and above. And so your options maybe, I'm not even sure if you get the Explore image features or not. I honestly would have to check. But because you
Where
could,
would that
if
be if I got
you would
that?
swipe down on an image and it should show up.
Oh, okay.
But with newer phones, you'd also have the benefit of image recognition, screen recognition, which can be fun, and a couple of little enhancements they've introduced with newer phone models that can also try to read pictures as well. So you do
So
have.
So that screen recognition is not.
It
I
is
thought I
not on
saw
your
that
phone,
in,
no.
but it's not. Oh, okay. Okay.
No, you
This
need
is
at
Jody.
least a 10S series or above.
Okay, if you don't, go ahead, Jody.
As a workaround, you might do a screen. You said you're in an app, but if you do a screenshot, you might be able to look at the photo that you've taken and use some of the.
No, it's not a photo that I've. It's like it's a file.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
It's not a
but
photo
if
that
you do a
I-
screenshot of it, you might take a. No, I know, but if you take a screenshot, then you can look at the screenshot, and you might be able to read the text on that.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Brad, I think Sheree wants to comment.
okay, go ahead, Sheree.
So I just wanted the comment that you're talking about where you're seeing it, the image none. That's basically the early settings for any images where you're telling it if there's an image you want to know it's an image, or if there's a description of the image you want that to be read, and that description is basically the text that's associated with that image. That's the settings that you're talking about that you're flicking up and down. That's just for people that want to know if there's an image on the screen or not. It's kind of useful if you're trying to troubleshoot a web page to let you know, hey, this particular image is descriptive or not. But that doesn't really tell us too much about what's on the image.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Sheree.
This is Sheree.
All right, we got a couple more minutes. Let's see. We got 2 minutes. Do we have a super quick question or should we just call it halftime?
This is Sandhya. I think Sheree had a comment.
Oh, Sheree, go ahead.
It's coming in low.
No, that was my question. I'm just asking if you
okay.
guys can hear me or not.
You're coming in and out, Sheree.
Yeah, you're in and out.
Yeah.
I'll fix it after the halftime.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Jody,
we
with a
call it
quick
halftime,
comment?
Sonia, or what? Who was that? That was
Jody.
Jody. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have had a problem where if I go to recents or favorites and I tap on a phone number in recents or favorites, I end up calling somebody completely unrelated. And it happened again tonight. So I'm considering those sources for phone numbers to be unreliable. So now I go into my contacts or into emails to get the correct phone numbers. Has anybody else experienced that?
This is Brad. Which OS you run?
15.1 on an SE 2020.
I know you love this. Have you turned your phone off and then back on?
No, but I'll try it. I'll
Herbie.
try it.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So I'm running an iPhone 13. Chanel's running an iPhone 12, and we both have experienced this phenomenon, and it's rather embarrassing, especially when I was live demoing the phone a couple weeks ago to somebody, and I was demonstrating this is how Recents works, and I call somebody and it calls somebody else instead. So,
yes.
In that case, and what's interesting is it didn't even matter that the other person was a FaceTime, and so it's happened to me a couple times. I don't know if it's happened to me since the most recent update, but I definitely have experienced this phenomenon, and it's rather
Okay. I sent it off to Apple today.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm
it
glad
like
I'm
it
not the
calls
only
the
one.
next person in line from the one you double tap, so it's rather weird.
Oh, not even nearby.
Oh, wow.
Well, thank you.
All right. So we at halfway?
We're at half point. Thank you, Brad, and everybody. That was pretty busy, busy first half. So we'd like for anybody that did get to say hello the first time around, just say who you are and where you're from, please. And you have to unmute yourself.
This is Nancy from Bend.
Hi, Nancy.
Mark in
Nikki
Montreal.
from San Francisco.
Mark and Nikki, welcome.
Thank you. And Jody.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, Priscilla, welcome. And Jody, welcome.
All right, let me go
This
back
is
to
Terry
Nancy.
from Arlington Heights.
Terry, welcome.
Mr. Dana from Ohio.
All right, there he is. Okay, who else?
Adam from Chicago.
Hey, Adam, welcome.
Hershey, Central Florida.
Hey, Hershey. Anybody else? Didn't get to
Michael
say.
in Houston.
Hello, sir. Anybody else?
Kelsey's here.
Welcome, Kelsey. All right. Anybody else want to say hi? Or don't want to say hi, be antisocial? That's fine. We still love you. Okay. All right. Well, with that, we will make some quick announcements of what's coming up this week. Tomorrow is iBUG Mini Buzz on Clubhouse from 5 to 6, all times that I'm going to mention are Central Time. So that's Tuesday. Then we skip Wednesday. Thursday is iBUG Vila Book Club. We will be discussing Where the Crawdads Sing. So quite a popular book. We hope that you will join us for that discussion. And that will start at 6:30 here on this Zoom conference line. Then we have Sunday, we have iBUG Cafe from 4 to 6. And that will be talking about various shopping applications just in time for Black Friday and for you to buy me my Christmas present. Oh, well, no, I guess not. But anyway, buy somebody a Christmas present or a holiday present or whatever it is. So check that out. That's going to be a really fun demos on this Sunday. And then, well, we'll come back. Also, we have our website. Just our quick social media. Our website is ibugtoday.org. The best place to get all the information about our upcoming events is the upcoming tab. Register, doesn't cost anything, and you'll also get various notifications of all of our upcoming events. You can, you can follow us on Twitter is at iBugToday, and you can go to Facebook and follow us there and post your questions in between these various conference calls. Is facebook.com/group/iBugToday. It's a great place to get information there. And we also have a YouTube channel, so subscribe, please, and get all of our latest podcasts. You'll get notified of them. You say, hey, iBug just posted this, and you will be totally up to date. In addition, all of our podcasts are archived on our website, ibugtoday.org, and under the podcast tab. And that way you can go back and look through them and find anything that you missed or need to review. Okay, we also have a mentoring program. The mentoring program, if you need help with you're a new user, you need help with your iPhone, that's on our website under the training tab, the mentee application. Please complete that, and then you will be matched with one of our amazing advanced users. If you are an advanced user and would like to share and help somebody else unlock the amazing power of the iPhone, you can do that as well by completing the mentor application. Okay, now, let's see. Friday is iBug Night at the Virtual Movies. And with our wonderful, exciting clues is the mellifluous Mr. McCulloch. Mr. McCulloch, are you out there?
I am here.
All
I was hoping you would call me the mysterious Mr. Magnificent. Is that?
Oh, you're mellifluous. Are you feeling mellifluous today? All right, what you got for us?
What's that cat's name? Mr. I can't remember now.
I
Somebody
know,
help
it's
me
okay.
out.
No, we can't help you now. Go.
Mr. Mistopheles or something like that.
Oh, okay. Maybe from your childhood. Okay, go
I'll
ahead.
bring it up. I'll sing it next time.
No,
All
please.
right.
Okay.
Yes, we are ready for Michael's Movie Money Show.
I don't know why that
And
makes me
we
crack
have
me up.
5 great clues again for you.
Oh dear.
But when is a noun not just a noun?
What? Are we having English class now?
When it is a verb. Do you know any nouns that are also verbs?
Office.
I don't know about that.
Yes. I don't like it, but you can office somewhere. Like I office in my room.
Oh, okay, very good. That's a good example.
Summer.
One I was thinking of was moon.
You would think of
Of course
me.
he was.
Why?
That's one of them. How about spider?
How about summer? Like I summer in Vermont or wherever.
You summer. That's a noun.
It's a verb. Summering. You go somewhere else.
How
in
about
summer.
buttonhole?
I don't think so. Okay, can we move on?
As opposed to that other hole. Okay,
Oh
moving
my
right along.
goodness.
We have our clues. Where's my clues? All
I'll
right.
have to start censoring you.
My assistant needs to bring the clues up. Oh, somebody's calling. Hold on.
You have such an imagination. Will you hurry up? We gotta go.
All right, clue number 1.
Oh,
All right, rules. Don't forget the rules. We always have rules. Just like in the regular program, rules, say your name, wait to be recognized, then you may guess the title of the movie. We're only looking for the title of the movie, no characters, no superfluous, other
Superfluous.
other information.
Wow.
All right. One movie critic says that this film isn't solid food, but it certainly is meaty and juicy and comically nourishing. Nourishing.
That was last week.
What?
I thought last week's show was comically nourishing.
Well. All right, Mr. McCulloch. It's crickets.
All right. Crickets. All right. Clue.
Oh,
number-
Shri.
Oh, Shri. I thought he left.
He came back.
Oh, he came
Does
back.
that sound better?
Yeah, you sound better.
Much.
How about Eat, Pray, and Die?
I thought it was Eat, Pray, and Love, but okay.
I don't think that's
No.
right.
Go
That's
on.
not right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Clue number 2. We see a violent courtroom rivalry between a lawyer husband and his lawyer wife.
Oh dear. Not good.
This is Ned.
All right, Ned.
You know, I can't think of the movie, but I know you don't. It's Katharine Hepburn and her guy that she starred with a lot. Can't think of his name.
This is Brad.
Yeah.
This is Brad.
All
Adam's
right,
rib.
Brad Adams rib. And Ned was thinking of Spencer Tracy.
Yes.
And ding, 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 ding. You are correct, Brad.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give it the prize to Ned. I wouldn't have got it without
Adams-
Ned.
Adams
gets it.
rib.
Or I'll split it with him.
Sure. Sounds like a deal.
All
wouldn't
right,
have
well,
got it
that's
without
good
him.
because we have 2 prizes, don't we, Johnny, for our winner tonight?
2?
Winners.
Yeah, they can share them. All right. Congratulations, Brad and Ned. Please feel free to share with your friends if you have any. So we are going to be giving you red and black. Guess what? Licorice. Yes, licorice. I hope you like licorice. I personally don't, but I hope you will because you'll have a year's supply to share with your friends, and they may not be your friends after that. So, did you know that there are various kinds of licorice? There's sour licorice, salty licorice, red licorice, and black licorice. There's also stuff from Finland and Australia. So, who knew? And there's various shapes and sizes. They come in coins, ropes, and shaped like a pretzel. So, there is your information about licorice. Enjoy. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Who gets red and who gets black?
They can fight it out over the Zoom call.
Oh, this
All
is
right.
Herbie.
Good job, y'all. Okay, we're moving on.
I was
Okay.
just gonna say Ned should get red. You know.
Oh, okay, moving on. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. You did wonderful. Now say goodnight, Mr. McCulloch.
Good night, Mr. McCulloch, wherever you are.
All right.
Oh,
very
by the way,
silent movie?
this movie is only 72 years old.
Almost as old as you.
Black and
Is
white.
Marty?
All right. Yes, Marty.
Is there a description, audio description for a
Yes,
silent movie?
It's not a silent movie. This is an old movie, but it is not silent. All right. Okay. With that, we are now, just so we know where we're going with the program, we're now going to have our iBUG Bites segment, and that'll be about a 5-minute
This is Jim.
segment. Yes.
He forgot to say in all the ships at sea.
Oh, okay. Didn't get it. All right. Okay. So after the iBUG Bites segment will be about 5 minutes, and then we will continue with our regularly scheduled questions. All right. So we're going to master mute everybody here. What is going on?
Sandhya, it's Mark in Montreal.
Yes,
Just
sir.
a quick question. Is
Yes.
Brad and Ned like Bill and Ted? Excellent Adventure.
You could be starting something new there.
They
Yes.
could be starting something new. Exactly.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
dangerous,
done.
dangerous. All right, here we go.
All right.
All right. Okay, so Mr. Brad, are you able
Do you
to
hear me?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
All righty, folks. We're going to talk about a little feature that sometimes people may know about that may be a little misunderstood. It is read receipts for iMessages. What is a read receipt? A read receipt is a receipt that is sent when someone sends a message. It is a receipt that is sent to the sender of the message to let them know that the receiving party has read the message. Now, you find this in emails, and this feature has come to, well, it's been there in iMessaging for quite a while. As long as I've had an iPhone, it's been there, and I've had an iPhone now for about 10 years. So nothing new, but a lot of people don't know it's there, don't know how to control it. You may or may not want your read receipts sent. You may not want people to know when you've read their messages that have been sent to you. It's kind of a privacy thing, or maybe you do want. And so there is the setting within messages that we're going to take a look at to turn this on or off. And then we're going to look at a new feature that has shown up in iOS. So let's open up the
2043.
Let's see.
Monday, November 8th.
Do we hear that?
Calendar.
Coming in loud
Monday,
and clear. So
settings.
A little louder.
Settings.
louder.
Settings. App Store.
A
Settings.
little bit. Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, we're going to go to settings.
Settings. Songs and folk screen display homes accessible.
By the
A
way, I
little
have
louder,
an
Brad.
iOS.
Sorry to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How's this?
Wallpaper. Siri and search.
Better.
Face
Yes.
ID and passcode.
Okay. I'm running an iOS 12 Pro, running an iPhone 12 Pro, running iOS 15.1.
Emergency, exposure, battery, privacy, app store, wallet and password, mail, contact, calendar, notes, reminders, voice memo, phone, messages, face messages, button,
Okay.
allow
There we
messages to
go.
access. Heading.
Now we go down here in our messages.
Focus, Siri and notification, iMessage, send and iMessages can be sent, share name and to personal, shared with you, allow content, show contact, show photos of text message, allow your iPhone, send read receipts, off.
Okay. Mine are off.
When this is on, people are notified when you have read their messages. This enables read receipts for all conversations.
Okay, thank you, Samantha. She has explained that. And you notice it says this is for all conversations. That's the new thing. Now I have mine set to off. That means I do not send read receipts for any conversation. So what do we do if there is someone that we want to send them to? Well, first we're going to go and I'm going to open up my messages.
Messages. One unread message.
Oh, I have an unread message. Well, we're not going to worry about that.
Sandhya.
We're going to go to my assistant here, Sandhya, and she is going to send me a message.
Oh, is that my clue? Cue, I mean?
That's your cue. It's your
Okay.
clue that you are cued.
All right. So I have Brad here. So I'm going to send him a message.
Messages. Message, iMessage, text feed message, dictate button.
Hi, Brad, comma, you are so awesome, period.
Well, got
Inserted. Hi, Brad, you are so awesome. Message, one pop send button.
Okay, I'm going to send it now. Send, double tap on send.
Send message, record audio messages.
Hi, Brad. You are so awesome.
Okay, now it says
Hi, Brad.
now it says my notifications read that out. I'm in the messages app, but I have not opened the conversation yet.
Sandhya. Unread. Hi, Brad. You are so awesome.
Okay, now Sandhya can look at her messages and go to the message you sent and swipe to the right, and we should hear down below it says delivered. iMessages acknowledges that the message has been sent and it has landed.
It has landed. Okay.
Well, I don't know what else to call it.
All right. Let me
It's
look.
been delivered. Okay. So show her that.
Okay.
It says delivered.
Today, 8:46 p.m. Heading level 1.
So I'm assuming that's now. I'm going to swipe right.
Your iMessage. Hi, Brad. You are so awesome.
Swipe right again.
8:46 p.m. Delivered. Heading level
Okay,
3.
now I'm going to open the conversation.
Sandhya. Unread. Sandhya Rio. Hi, Brad. Your iMessage. I like the feel of the keys. Your
Where is it?
iMessage.
There it is.
Sticker. Delivered.
There it
Level
is.
3. Today 20. Sandhya Rio. Hi, Brad. You are so awesome.
Okay,
20,
now
46.
look at it on your end again.
Right. All right.
And it still says delivered, correct?
Right.
Your
Okay,
iMessage
nothing
delivered.
changed.
Heading level 3.
Now I can go and enable read receipts for this conversation.
Sandhya Rio.
I go to the top and I press on Sandhya's name.
Select double tap to dismiss pop-up.
And in here,
Done. Button. Sandhya. Call. Video. Mail. Info. Send my current log. Share my log. Hide alerts. Send read receipts. Switch button. Off.
okay, this is new in iOS 15. I can now turn this on.
On.
So I have enabled read receipts for this conversation only. Now I'm going to back out of here.
Done. Button. Double tap to
Now
dismiss pop-up.
I'm still in here. I'm going to
Back button.
back out.
Button. Sandhya.
Now Sandhya is going to send me another message.
All right. And here's my clue cue again. I'm going to send a message.
Apps, messages. Message, text field, insertion, return, dictate button.
Brad, you are absolutely, totally awesome. Exclamation point.
Too much.
Inserted, Brad, you are absolutely totally awesome.
Okay, send it.
Message, one send button.
Double tap.
Record audio.
Sandhya. Brad, you are absolutely.
Okay, it reads the message, but I have not opened the conversation yet. I'm still in my messages app looking at the list of all the different conversations I got going. So why don't you put your finger on the message you just sent me?
All right.
And we're going to swipe to the right and it's going to say delivered.
Hold on.
Messages, your iMessage. Brad, you are absolutely totally awesome. 8:49 p.m. Delivered. Heading level 3.
Now I'm going to open the conversation.
Sandhya Rio.
Messages. Read. 8:49 p.m.
And you heard it on Sandhya's end. It said red 8:49. So as soon as I opened the conversation, it said it was red because I have enabled read receipts for this conversation only. Now, this works in reverse. If I had gone into my iMessages and had enabled read receipts for all conversations, I could then go to an individual conversation and disable read receipts for an individual conversation. So this is kind of a neat little tool. Of course, like I said, read receipts have been there all along, but now we're able to customize for an individual conversation. If we want to enable or disable, we can do something different from the way our global setting is. And this only works, by the way, with iMessages. If you have a conversation with somebody who's either on an iOS device but does not have iMessaging enabled, or is on a non-iOS device and is just using standard SMS text messages, you don't get to use, there's no read receipts with those, only with iMessages. And it doesn't work in group messages because you've got like a bunch of people. So it's not going to send you read receipts from, if you got 7 people in a conversation, you're not going to know that 3 of them have read it and 4 of them have. No, it only works with individual conversations back and forth. So that's my iBUG Buzz Bites, whatever we call this.
All right. And I didn't get sawed in half, so pretty good.
I know. I'm sorry about that. I know the audience is disappointed. They don't like
Okay.
that, but-
Thank you, Brad. And we will open it up for any. All right. If anybody has any questions for Brad or anybody?
This is Inquiring Minds.
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
We want to know, what did Brad do for you?
Oh, it's good for his ego,
It's
that's
just a
all.
general.
I know he's going to
overall
listen to
blanket
that over
statement.
and over. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
This
Thank
is
you.
Tree.
Oh, yes, go ahead, Tree.
So what happens if, let's just say this conversation, let's say Sandhya accidentally deleted this conversation and then she created a new conversation with you. Will that still be active, or do you have to go back and reassign it?
I don't know. I haven't gone that far into it. What I have found with certain other things, such as if I have muted alerts from a conversation so that I don't get alerts, if I delete the conversation and then I get a text message from that person, or in some cases it's a group, because you know how groups can just really go crazy with alerts, that my setting sticks. So if I turned off notifications, alerts, I don't get them even though I deleted it. So my guess would be the iPhone's going to remember it, but I can't say for sure. You'll have to check that out for yourself and see.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you, Brad. That was fun. And this is a great way
Thank
that
you.
what if somebody is ignoring you, right?
That's true. Or not. Yes.
Very
yeah,
important.
so-
If you really want to know if somebody read your message, if you're waiting for a response, this is the way to go. Thank you, Brad.
I promise I'll come up with something next time where we get to saw you in half again.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay. All right. Now,
This is Herbie.
yes.
I don't know if Brad mentioned this or not. You can also adjust settings for each individual conversation. So if you want somebody to see read receipts and somebody else not to,
Right.
you can actually do that. So
He did that. That's what he did. He just allowed it for me and not everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Now we're going to give somebody a chance who didn't get a chance to ask a question, because there's, going pretty quickly. So who hasn't had a chance? You can
Mark
ask.
in Montreal.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
This is since 15.1 on iPhone 11. When I go into my contacts, open up a contact, do what I need to do with it, whether phone or, whatever I need to do with the contact, such as join the iBUG meeting. I exit out of contacts by tapping at the top and going back to my list. Next time I go into contacts, even though I've exited out, iBUG is still there, highlighted like I never exited out of it. And it's just been since 15.1. I suspect it's a bug, but has anybody else had this issue, or is it just wonky me or my wonky phone?
All right. Anybody having that issue? I really want to encourage other people to answer questions. Anybody? All right. I guess.
This is Freddie.
Freddie, go ahead.
I've noticed that same problem in my content.
All right. Good job, Freddie. Thanks for stepping up. Okay. So, Mark, it's not you.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe I
thank
figured
you.
it was because I was north of the 49th parallel.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll
All
get
right.
resolved.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, all right. We are getting. Okay. Who's next? Somebody new has a question? Had to mute everybody. We're getting background noise. Who's next?
Xavier,
Marty.
Lana.
Xavier, go ahead.
Yes, when I try to do my widgets, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and it has Sacramento, California, somewhere. When I change it, it changed to Atlanta. But when I come out and go back in, it goes back to somewhere in California. I don't know. It won't stick.
And your widget for what? I'm sorry. For
My weather.
weather widget. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Anybody with weather widgets? Any? So it's moving around, not staying in Atlanta, huh?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Pretty strange. Anybody? I know we did a whole.
This is Jim.
Go ahead, Shree, and then Jim.
So did you go somewhere else then came back?
Yes, it stayed in Atlanta, and then when I went out and come back to see if it stick, it changes right back to someplace in California.
Now, did you change is your thing set for time zone?
I'm not sure, no.
I'm wondering if it's looking at the time zone in California, and that's why you're seeing the weather from California.
Yeah, but it would change. I can change it to Atlanta, but when I go out and come back in, it goes back to it resets to somewhere in California on its own.
This is Shree.
Okay.
Clarification. When you say go back, are you talking about you going back to California and coming back?
Right. It went to it
What-
stays
what-
on California.
Hold on, Xavier. Did you physically go to California, or you're just leaving?
No,
the
no,
app?
no. I
You
never,
left
no,
the
no.
app, right? Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah. No, I've
Okay,
never been there and did that. No.
Yeah, he left the app. That's what he means.
Right.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That was a good question there. Paying
Okay.
attention.
I mean,
All
if
right.
anybody want to pay for me to go to California,
Okay, let's a volunteer there.
This is David.
David.
Hi. I think the default city on weather is Cupertino, where Apple is based. Is that the one that's showing?
say the name again.
Cupertino.
It's something funny like that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's the default city in weather.
Okay.
So it should though default to your location. Have you ever opened up the weather app itself?
With the yes,
the
I have,
actual
yes.
weather app, not just the widget, but the actual weather app.
Yes, I've opened that. Yes.
Did you ever set up like multiple cities in there or anything, or?
It's been quite a while. I used to do other cities, but it was never California or anything like that.
Because, well, there's also like a lot of these apps, when you open them, it'll say, do you want this app to identify your location like always while using? There's a couple of choices there. You might want to, but that usually happens when you open up the app for like the first time, or if like you haven't used it in a while. It's going to ask like how you want the location services to be used in the app. So it looks like it's not identifying your current location for the weather app.
So should I go to the weather app or?
Yeah, the actual weather app on the phone.
Okay.
Like just say open weather. If you can't find it, just say Siri, like open weather, and it'll open the weather app. And then at the bottom, there's going to be like a little list of all your cities, like a kind of a combo box kind of thing, or a little thing we can swipe through. And like mine, now if I travel, like sometimes it'll default to another city while I'm there. But of course, if I want to come back, Then sometimes I have to switch it back to Houston, but I don't know.
I'll go in there and see. Yes.
All right. Thank you, David. And Mr. Dana, do you have something to shed on this?
Yeah. I was just going to say, I had the same thing happen to me. I had to go into the weather app and delete Cupertino and put in my city, and everything's okay now. But if you just go into the weather app and delete Cupertino and put in wherever you're from, you'll be okay.
Okay.
Right. And yes, and
Thank
remember,
you.
Xavier is willing to go to Cupertino just to help us out. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. See how it works.
Or that,
He's
or
taking one
that,
for the
yep.
team. Good job, Xavier. Okay.
Thank you.
Who's next? Somebody new? Didn't have a turn?
This is Marty.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
There's something, I guess it's a new setting in VoiceOver, says sound recognition. And when you click on it, it's off, I guess by default, and it gives you a warning. I forget what the warning message is. And then it has all these different sounds like car horn, glass breaking. So so when you turn it on, and what exactly is the purpose of it? And do you get a warning when you hear those sounds, or what does that particular function mean, or what's it supposed to do?
This is Jim.
Go ahead, Jim.
I believe that is for people that use hearing aids, and they have their phones connected to the hearing aids. So if something happens in their vicinity, it's identified.
Perfect. Beautiful. Jim, and I believe I forgot to come back to you earlier. Is your comment still relevant, or do you remember what you were going to say?
It's been answered about
Okay,
setting
thank you. I
location for the city. I
apologize.
do have a question.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
So one other thing, I believe that sound recognition also works with the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max. And yes, it is designed for people with hearing impairments. It's supposed to be kind of help with identifying everyday common sounds. But it does, I believe, work with the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Max. I am not sure about the AirPods 2.
All right, thank you. Okay, moving on. Who's next? Somebody new with a new question? Really want to try to cover as many questions
This
people
is
have.
Herbie with an answer to Mark's question a minute ago.
I think Mark has left the meeting, but okay, go ahead. What?
Okay, well, if it might still help anybody. See, his question was about contacts, like going back, and he'd open them back up and they come back. But what I do is, if I'm using like a Zoom homepage, once I go to the Zoom thing, if I close out, the phone app, and I'm assuming if you have the standalone contacts app, it will do the same thing. If I just close it out, when I open it back up, it goes back to the main screen. It does not stay on iBUG. So that's what happened with me. So I've escaped whatever you did to Mark's phone or whatever. That's how I got out of it. So.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Keep going. Who else? Somebody new? Hasn't had a turn. Want to give people a chance. This is your turn to ask a question. Who is
Jim.
All right. Go ahead, Jim.
I use Verizon as my client, which goes through AOL. I received an email today from AOL, I believe, that said, we're making changes and you've got to go in and disable your email account and then re-enable it and put in this additional password. I wonder if anybody else in my situation has gotten that email.
All right. So trying to determine this
This
is legit.
is Marty.
Yes, go ahead, Marty.
Jim, is that from AOL? Is that like giving you 3 options, saying that your security has changed and you have the option of using their app, or you have the option of deleting? If you're using the iOS mail, you can delete it and then reinstall it, or the third option is to install a special security password that they have.
That's correct.
Yeah. I don't know if you need to act on it, but what I did was the simplest thing for me was I loaded their app, the AOL app. I didn't like the AOL mail app. I just deleted it and then went back in and reinstalled it on iOS mail, and everything's good to go.
Right. Good job, Marty. Thank you, Marty. Hope that helps, Jim. Yep. Always kind of wary of sometimes when you get weird emails like that. Is it real or is it, phishing?
Yeah, and adding to that, I got something from AOL Services, and I'm glad it said AOL Services, and I'm glad I didn't act on it because it said your AOL is going away from your classic, and you should verify your mailbox by November 5th. I didn't act on that email. It seemed suspicious, and I'm glad I did because November 5th came and went and nothing ever happened. So it
All
probably
right. Yeah. Lesson to learn is just be really, really careful. All right. Next question. Somebody new? How's it?
This is Paul.
Paul, welcome. Go ahead.
Hi, son. It's been a while. I just had a quick question about 15. The latest update, I can't lie, I haven't updated to the latest, because just little rumors. And so I'm ready to update. What do you guys think about just updating to the latest update?
All right. Somebody who hasn't had a turn want to respond to that, or anybody? Several people on this call have updated. So Brad.
iOS 15.1 is pretty rock solid. iOS 15 in general was a pretty good update. There were a few little accessibility issues with 15.0. And from what I can tell, they seem to be resolved in 15.1. So I'd say go for it.
Thanks, Brad. That's what I needed. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good job, Paul. Glad to have you. All right. Keep going. Who's next?
Xavier, I'd like to ask another question.
All right. Go ahead.
Yes, when you go to a website and you go to the end, it says format option. What is that for?
Okay. Who would like to help Xavier out? What does format options mean?
This is Terry.
Terry, go ahead.
Format option means that if you double tap on it, it will allow you to and I forget what it's called. I have to do it. It will allow you to have that website be more accessible to you and take away the ads. So all you get is the text from
the
that
reader
website.
View. Reader view.
Yes,
Right?
there's
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's yes.
And there are other options in there as well, but it's the reader view one that usually voiceover users are interested in.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Brad?
Thank you. Yes, Brad.
Yeah, there's also a way to not only turn reader view on or off, but you can set reader view to be the default, whatever we want to call it, view for certain web pages. And so you could turn it on so that when you go return to a certain website, it'll always be in reader view, if that's what you want.
Okay. All right. Take a look at it. Thank you.
So yeah, the reader view, just to clarify, like what Terry said, is it really strips out all the garbage and you can just makes it much easier to read an article or text. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Good job. Good question. Thank you, Carrie Ann. Okay. Who's next? Somebody new question?
This is Marty.
Okay. Hang on, Marty. Let's give anybody else
sure.
a chance and we'll come back. Okay. Anybody else?
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
If I want to put a phone number in favorites, does it have to be in my contacts to do it? Or can it be in my recents and I can do it? And if so, how do I do it? If it's not in my contacts, but it's something, on the first oh, what's the word I'm looking for? At the bottom of the screen, when you're in your phone settings, the very first thing there is
First
favorites,
tab.
and
First tab
first
is
tab.
favorite,
Thank
right?
you.
Mhm.
I wish I wouldn't have so much trouble thinking of the right words when I want to use them.
It's okay. You're
I
good.
hope it's not
This is
leading to
Jim.
Alzheimer's.
No, I don't think so. Okay, Jim's gonna help us out. Go ahead, Jim.
Yes.
To my understanding, it defaults to your contacts. Okay. So what you could do is if you have a phone number in your recents, you want to keep that phone number, I would create a contact and then act on it from there by adding it to your favorites. I think that's the way you have to do it.
Okay.
This is Herbie.
All right, go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, so I was just looking, because if you were going to be able to add it to favorites, you'd most likely go down on a phone number and go down to more info, and there's no option to add to favorites. You can add to new
Correct.
contact, existing, and there's a new option called emergency contacts, and you can block them, but there is no option to add it to favorites. And I think part of it too is because when you add somebody to favorites, it's identifying the person as well as like the type of phone that it is, because you can kind of customize that. But yeah, I think they do have to be added to contacts to be added to favorites.
This
All
is
right.
Paul.
Paul, go ahead.
Sandhya, real quick. So if you want, I just happened to go on there today. So recent, somebody called me from BT program. So on recent, if you swipe over, like under recent, you swipe down once and you go to that, that more tab,
Uh-huh.
and you swipe all the way, and favorites is like right there, like about 8 swipes over to the right to add to favorites.
Oh, when you were in a recent call?
Yeah, like if you were, if you made your call and you check out your,
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
so if you go to, your phone and recent,
Mm-hmm,
you know how you go to recent and you double tap on recent and
Yeah.
it got, so if you swipe down once, it's got that more, right? That more tab. Then you swipe over and it does have that add to favorites. I think what they were
Wow,
asking.
I'll have to,
Yeah.
okay, well, there you go, Terry Ann. Maybe that should work. That's what you want. Okay,
Yep.
thank you, Paul. Thank
Thanks.
you very much. Okay, learn something new. All right, who's next?
Hello there.
Marty?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Marty, and then we'll come back. Okay, go ahead, Marty.
Back to the 15.1 question, there still is a glitch with third-party clock apps. For example, Westminster Chime sort of did a fix, but the problem is every time your phone chimes, it sends a notification. So you have to do, it's like every quarter hour you get notifications. So you have to delete them. And the other problem is if you're wearing your watch, your phone never chimes because the notifications go to the watch when you're wearing the watch.
So you kind of got something, but not really. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update on the chimes. Thank you. All right. Somebody said they were making a comment. Who was that? Sorry, you didn't say your name.
Oh, hi there. My name is Maxwell.
Hey, Maxwell. I know you.
Hey.
You came from Clubhouse.
Yeah, good to hear everyone.
All right.
Wanted to
Go ahead.
how do I turn reader mode on and off in Safari?
Oh, beautiful question. Who would like to help Maxwell out? Anybody turning read?
This is Brad.
Brad.
Well, I'm not really familiar with meter mode, but my guess is number one, I would look at, I would assume this has to do with your metering your cellular data usage.
I think he means reader. Did you say
Oh,
reader
you said
or
reader
meter?
mode.
Reader.
Yeah,
in Safari.
reader mode.
Yeah, reader.
Yeah, reader mode.
I
Like,
can't
because sometimes I
hear
get
and
articles I
have
click on.
Alzheimer's. Well, go to that what was the options button we just talked
Format.
about a few minutes ago? Format. Yes.
Okay.
Format option in the upper left corner of your Safari screen, and that will turn reader mode on or off. And as I believe I mentioned before, there's also an option to have it be the default view for a certain web page.
Well, thank you.
All right. So
right.
glad to have you, Maxwell.
Also, maybe a setting somewhere to limit your data consumption in Safari. That's
Brad
what
is
I was
making
going
up
for.
his own new functions
Oh,
now.
there could
Well,
be
I'm
that'd be
bailing
really cool.
myself out here.
Well,
Sure,
thank
Brad.
you, Brad.
All right. Good job, Brad. Okay. He's so awesome. Okay. Who's next? Somebody new.
Elisa,
Elisa, welcome. Go ahead.
so I have a question. I want to get a new phone from the new market, the new phones that are out there. But what phone would you all recommend from the iPhone 8 that I have? What's the good phones that y'all been using lately?
All right. Somebody else want to help her or help her out? Help Elisa out? Recommendation for a phone moving up
This is
from an
Herbie.
iPhone 8. Go ahead, Herbie.
I'm really happy with the iPhone 13, and the reason why I would recommend it either, like the regular size phone or the Pro size. The Pro size is a really good fit, actually. It's not, it's a little bit bigger, but it's not like super bulky. But the thing that you get is you get 5G, which is more advanced data, and a better battery. You will have to learn, a couple of new gestures. But the advantage you get with it over, like, say, the SE, which is the SE 2020, which does have the home button and all that, is I've heard a lot of people complain about the battery life on the SE 2020. And there's some variance with that, obviously, in how much you use the phone. But on the whole, people tend to be not happy with it. So I would recommend the 13 models myself, and the Pro, I think that's a good phone. Otherwise, the regular, the Mini, it's still a good phone. You're going to have shorter battery life. That's the disadvantage, but it is a smaller phone. So, and I personally love the flatter square shapes they've resorted to instead of the roundish look that the 6 and up series of 6 through the 12 have had. So those are that's my thought.
Thank you, Herbie. Brad.
Jody?
Brad and then
Yep.
Jody. Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Brad.
was going to say my wife recently made the move from the iPhone SE 2020 to the iPhone 13 mini, and she hasn't complained anything about battery life. She has really good 5G. She enjoys it's smaller in her hand than the SE, and so she's got small hands and she really likes it. It's a little heavier than the SE 2020, but it's got a lot more in there. But it's a pretty solid choice, and it's the least expensive of the 13s.
Okay.
This is Jim.
Jody and then Jim.
I've got the SE 2020 and I absolutely love it. You can't beat the price of $399. But I don't know if you can get them anymore directly because they're a year old now. So I've heard people having problems getting them.
All right. Thank you, Jody. Jim.
Okay, there's a rule of thumb I heard years ago, and it seems to work for phones and computers. Get the newest model you can and get the most memory you can, because you're making an investment in your future with a phone that you're going to keep for a while, or a device you're going to keep for a while, and you don't want to run out of memory. You want as much memory as you can afford, so you don't run out of real estate on your phone. So that's just a rule of thumb. So if a 13 with 256 gigabytes, or even 512, or a terabyte, if you have the money, that's how you want to look at it.
All right. Great advice. Somebody told me that too. So yeah, get as much as you can afford, because the more you spend, then probably the longer you'll be able to use it. So if you're planning to use it for a long time, then go ahead and make that investment like Jim said. So great question, Elisa. Thank you and good luck. It's really exciting that you're getting a new phone. Okay, who's next? Somebody new? Have a question? New question. Anybody?
Do I really have to give up my 4S?
There's Miss Priscilla. Okay, let's hear it, my dear. Are you really going to give up your 4S? I've been hearing about this 4S for the last 10 years. Well, if you're you gotta talk a little louder. We can't hear you. Okay.
The 4S is all I use it for is to make a damn phone call on it, to call my special transportation, period, or the home to reach my family member. AT&T sent me a free cell phone. They sent me an iPhone XR. I don't know how good it is or how bad it is, but they better not cut my phone off. Will they cut it off? I don't know. I know
This is Jim.
Okay, Herbie and then Jim.
So I must admit I'm impressed that it actually hasn't been cut off, and my guess is eventually it will be. I don't know for sure because a lot of carriers, as they move along, are cutting out some of the older bands, and so that 4S, for instance, it can only get as high as 3G, and so as that phone will work so long as they do have the 3G band enabled, but otherwise you might want to try the SR, or if you don't think you can handle a 4S, I would maybe in your case you could get like the 20. You might be fine with the SE 2020 since you just use your phone for phone calls, because the battery life may not be as much of an issue and you're going to have a phone that is familiar to you.
All right, thank you, Herbie. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, and one day that phone is just not going to work for you anymore. The battery is going to not be able to hold a charge, or like Herbie said, you're going to be locked out of the network.
This
All
is
right.
Marty.
Go ahead, Marty.
I just got a letter because I still have a line with a Nokia N86, and the letter, I think I got an email or a letter saying that 3G will be shut off in February by AT&T.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go, Miss Priscilla.
Yeah, but thank you guys. But my phone reads 4G. I don't know where AT&T says my phone is a 3G.
This is Herbie.
It reads 4.
Okay, hang on, Priscilla. Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, don't trust. It's not 4G. It is, if it was truly 4G, it would be LTE, but I do remember the phone being misleading like that back in the day, and that was a big controversy because it's kind of a gimmick. It makes it look better than what it is, but in reality, that phone is 3G. Only the 5 and up started supporting the true 4G/LTE, so...
Okay.
What is your professional opinion on the iPhone XR?
Okay,
Is that any
quickly.
good?
Anybody opinions on XR, iPhone XR?
Brad.
Brad.
iPhone XR is not a bad phone. It's the right now the oldest phone that supports the new features. It does not have a home button, which is fine if you don't, if you can. I don't mind the phone. I prefer the phone without a home button. A lot of people, haven't wanted to make that plunge. If the gestures will be a little bit different, but it's several years old, but it's several years newer than what you got. I think the recommendation to go with the SE, you'd be more familiar with the home button, and it's got a newer processor. I think that'd be your better choice.
This is
All
Terry.
right. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Terry.
I had a 4S at one point, and it did support 4G.
Okay.
And and I know a couple of people that have had 4s. I know one person that still has one, and she's using it now, and those old phones, they're workhorses. They still work. The problem is that, like people have said, that they can cut off some of the support for some of the features and the processing and that kind of thing. But I'd use it as long as you could, but be prepared with something else just in case. But and you would do well, I think, with the XR, especially if you got it free. Free
Yeah.
is good.
So yes, you
All right,
and
guys, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
all right. And as we say, we're not worried about the lack of the home button should not be in any way a consideration. It's just learning something new. And we are all used to learning something new on this call all the time. So
This is
it's
Herbie.
muscle memory. And so we are going to move on. Okay, Herbie, quickly. What?
No, I just thought of something too. Like, Priscilla, am I correct in that you rely on hearing aids?
I do wear hearing aids, and I got new rechargeable hearing aids, and my audiologist told me as soon as I get my new phone to make an appointment with her, and she will do whatever, because they have to put an app, I think, on the new phone.
Yes.
Is that how they, something
That's
like that? I don't know what-
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because the newer phone will work with your hearing aids, and the newer the phone, the better it's going to work. So that's something else to think about too. So
Great consideration. That's very important. Okay. Good luck, Priscilla. Good job. All right. Who's next? New question. Somebody new that hasn't had a turn. Anybody? All right. I have a quick question since I have not had a turn. I am wondering, I keep my AirPods Pros plugged in constantly. I mean, is that bad for them? I mean, I know, I'm like they charge my the AirPods, but I have them most of the time plugged in. Is that bad? Or does it matter?
This is Marty.
This is
Marty.
When you say plugged in, because the Pro, you mean to keep the case plugged in?
Yeah, I keep the case plugged in. Yes.
I don't think so. I think batteries are now that you can, because chargers should shut off when they're at 100%.
Okay.
So you should be okay. I mean, what I personally do with mine is, of course, I always put them back in the case because these things are so small.
Right.
And also the case charges them, and I just use them until the case runs down to like no charge, and then I try to use the headphones as long as I can. But what I find is once the case has no charge and I put them back in, they just kind of either like just totally discharge and have to charge it again. So I guess if you always want them, keep the case plugged in and you're okay.
Yes. So one more quick follow-up on that.
Terry.
Come back to yes, go ahead, Terry.
I have read that it is okay to leave things plugged in, but I've also read that occasionally, especially for lithium batteries, that you should periodically fully discharge them and then recharge them, because they can sometimes create a memory after quite a long time. They can build up a memory, and so not like they used to, of course, but I've read that it is healthy to discharge them completely every so often. I don't know how often that really is, but
okay. Well, I have a follow-up to that, unless anybody else has a quick question. The follow-up is, recently I've been trying to, every time I, put them in, and then I want it to pair with hang on, we're getting an echo. So I want them to pair with my iPhone, and they used to work fine. And I hear the little ding, little tone, and then nothing happens. It doesn't pair. It says, it shows my name and my AirPods, but nothing is happening. Should I just like forget this device, unpair it, and start over, or any thoughts?
This is Brad.
Brad.
there is a thing that the new AirPods do. I'm not sure if the older ones, the first gen and second generation do it, but certainly the third generation, the Pro and the AirPod Max do. In your settings, there's this thing. You have a choice of connect with this device always or when last connected. And I tend to use my AirPod Pro really only with my iPhone. So when they're connected, open up your Bluetooth, find the device, the AirPod Pro in your list of Bluetooth devices. And you got two choices, when you swipe up or down, like actions, connect or more options, something like that. Open up more options. Go in there and you'll find a setting that says connect with this device always or when last connected. And if you use them all the time with your phone, select always. I mean, do you ever use them with your Mac or?
No, never.
Okay. Well, I would go to your iPhone, and because when you sign in with they show up on all devices signed into your Apple ID. So I would go to your iPhone, make sure that setting says always on your iPhone, go to your Mac, connect with them on your Mac and make it say when last connected. That way they won't connect until you manually connect them to your Mac. If you have, I've never connected them to my Apple Watch, so I don't know about that.
Okay.
But I would just look at your other devices and the one that you use them with all the time, your phone, make sure it says always in the settings for that device.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our call. Thank you so much, Brad. Thanks for everybody, all their questions and answers and help, because this is an ongoing effort and it's a team effort. So we appreciate y'all coming. And just remember, tomorrow is Clubhouse Mini Buzz on Clubhouse from 5 to 6. The book club on Thursday, 6:30 on this Zoom call. We're listening to Where the Crawdads Sing. The movie night, iBUG night at the virtual movies at 8 p.m. And we're going to be watching a classic, Adam's Rib, starring Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. Then and 7:30 is the social half an hour. So please come for it. And discussion to follow. And then on Sunday, we have iBUG Cafe, and we're going to be discussing shopping apps in time for the holidays. So we have a busy week ahead. Thank you for coming, and we will see you soon. Take care and have a good night.